So the other morning we were talking about Joseph and how he was forgiving his brothers like as God actually had shown him. If you remember those three examples about God's forgiveness that we've spoken about a few weeks ago, how it is not like our forgiveness, like it is unreasonably sudden, it is surprisingly complete. He's inexplicably ready to give it. And Joseph knew about this. He understood it, and how well, because I mean, we see it when he forgives his brothers. He was so ready. He never brought it up again himself, and and they didn't. They didn't have to do anything for it, really. And he knew it because he received the forgiveness of God himself. And then this is what happens to you. This is what can happen to you. Well, the other option is, of course, that when you have God's forgiveness, and then somehow you think it's not for anyone else, it's just for you because, I don't know, you're special, or no one else deserves it, or whatever reason. But you think it's not for anyone else. And then you are forgiven, but you're not yourself forgiving. And in Matthew 18, verse 32 and 33, we read about that. This servant who was forgiven a huge amount of money, but then this minuscule amount of money that he was owed, he didn't forgive, but he caused real trouble for that person. So it says, then his Lord, who had forgiven the huge debt previously that he had towards his Lord. So then his Lord, after that he had called him, said unto him, O you wicked servant, I forgave you all that debt because you desired me. Should you not also have had compassion on your fellow servant, even as I had pity on you? And of course the obvious answer is, yeah, you should have, but he did not. That thought did not cross his mind. It's interesting because God is saying, look, I have this amazing forgiveness available to you, but the decision is yours at every step. Okay, will you receive it or not? Will you, like Joseph's brothers, if you remember, you may not receive it. I may give it, says God, but you may not receive it. It's your decision. If you don't receive it, you're going to live in a weird place. And if you don't give it, you will also live in a weird place. Because this is the question, will I live in a system of grace? Or will I live in a system of IOUs? Will I live in a system of debt and payment? Will I live in a business system? And in this sense, in human relationships, I'm not talking about business about money, because with money, that's money, okay, and that's business. But in human relationships, will I live in a system where I am owed and I owe and I repay and they have to repay, and that's how it works. And then I imagine that with God I live in a similar system, because in my heart it is not a system of grace. And it's interesting that if I do that, God will allow me to live in that second system. He will let me live in that system of debt and payment. But also it's definitely true that God, he wants me out of that system. He wants me to get out of that system. He obviously shows me his forgiveness because he wants me out of there. And also, he will not join me there. So that's just some good thought for meditation this morning. God bless your day.